Nintendo is using a feature you probably haven't used before, or maybe you used once, and it's going to be gone forever. Let's talk about it. It's Mood News. Welcome everyone, one and all of one is welcome. What am I saying? Welcome to Mood News, guys. Today's a very interesting, strange, maybe peculiar, maybe not that necessary of a video, but it's still interesting nonetheless to me, and so I thought I would share it with you. Welcome to Mood News, I'm your host Mads, and today we're discussing that the discontinuation of X, formerly Twitter, integration of Nintendo Switch. Basically, guys, there used to be this little feature on Switch, right, where you used to be able to add your friends or find suggested friends through Twitter or through Facebook or through your previous friends through Wii U and 3DS. And you know what? This is a very, very useful and kind of fun feature where any mutuals you had on Twitter, you could immediately add them on Switch. And you know what? It worked beautifully, right? I've added a bunch of my friends from Twitter onto Switch, like, immediately, and it's great. It's kind of fun. Even mutuals which you haven't added, you can see what they've played, and it can be kind of funny and sneaky, but it's cool. It was a really cool feature, and it was a really good way of, interconnecting your Twitter, friends and all that stuff onto Switch and vice versa. And again, the same thing worked with Facebook. I never use that because I don't use Facebook because I'm not old, but regardless, it was kind of a cool feature, but now it appears that they're removing it, which honestly makes me a little bit sad because it was kind of cool and it's kind of funky. The reason why they did it, well, first let's talk about two things, right? The reason why they did it and what it means for like the future and like possibilities of what stuff is going on as well, because it's not just Nintendo removing Twitter right now. They're also going to be removing Facebook down the line, which is a bit more crazy, but they're just removing Twitter right now. But what is the reason why they're removing it, right? What do we think the reason is? Well, apparently like a lot of other software is removing Twitter support, like Xbox and PlayStation is removing it because of like an API thing which Mr. Musk changed, where it costs more money or some bollocks to use Twitter on your services, something like that. It's a bit boring. I'm not here to talk about that, but that apparently could be possibly one of the reasons. But that doesn't really make sense with Nintendo removing Facebook as well down the line as well, right? It's kind of interesting. They're also discontinuing Smash World, right, for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It just seems like and even they're adjusting Splatoon 3 and Splatoon 2's system. And so it seems like they're sort of winding down the system of using social media in regards to Nintendo systems. Now, what does this mean? Is this just a case of Nintendo wants to distance themselves from the controversial platforms of Facebook and Meta and X and Twitter and Mr. Musk and Mr. Zuck? Maybe. But you know what? I have a much more positive and much more exciting and a much more fantastical idea, right? Nintendo brings back Miiverse. Think about it. Think about what a great idea that would be, right? I mean, Smash World, in case any of you guys even remember that, was sort of like Smash Bros. Version of Miiverse. And even like this, being able to post and share photos of your album to Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff was sort of a version of Miiverse as well. So, they're removing both of these features. They're distancing themselves from these big conglomerate social medias and transitioning, right, into a beautiful, incredible Nintendo-themed social network, which they once had, called Miiverse, and everyone loved it. It was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Being on the Wii U, being in 2013 or whenever, or 2012, when everyone was sort of conglomerating and moving over to these more base social medias with Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and YouTube, as like the big ones. But now, we're sort of diverging. There's different little mini micro biomes of social media in a lot of ways. We have Twitter, but we have Instagram, but we also have Facebook, but we also have, we have Discord, but we also have TikTok, and we have YouTube. There is a abundance. With Be Real, we have an abundance of social media right now. And you know what? I'm all for it. It's a bit annoying where it's like, everyone, you could say that it's, everyone being in different spaces is sort of annoying, it's like, I kind of, wish everything was in one place. That would be so convenient. That would be so nice. But you know what? I sort of like having a little bit of separation of my interests and what I go to things for, Like, I think would kind of be a lot of fun to have a social media dedicated to Nintendo games, dedicated to Nintendo stuff and sufficient enough for that sort of experience. And Miiverse was kind of that. It was just, I was too young for it, or I just think the world was too young to experience these sort of separate, smaller social medias. And I think it's really fun to have like these smaller communities which you can experience. I don't think it's a case of echo chambers and this and that. I think that it could turn to that in certain situations, but overall, going to a location in expectation of a certain service or a certain vibe is sort of fun, you know? It's like, sometimes you don't want to see certain things, or more specifically, instead of not wanting to see certain things, is that you're looking for a specific thing, you know, having a discussion about this, having a discussion about that. And of course, with these services, you know, like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and stuff, you can subscribe to certain accounts, you can do all that sort of stuff, but having a place exclusive for games, having a social media, a social network exclusive for games like Miiverse, that is cool. That is fun. That is nice. I like seeing the little forums on Steam. I like this. I like Discord. This would be fantastic. Now, maybe I'm crazy, right? Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that Nintendo would bring back Miiverse, and you know what? I probably am, but who cares? A man can dream. But anyways, guys, is there anything else about this which I'm kind of interested in? I kind of just wanted to ramble about Miiverse because I care a lot about Miiverse, and you know what? Miiverse is... Miiverse is underrated. You know what? How about Plurk? Does anyone remember Plurk? Me and my mates found out about Plurk recently. Actually, I only found out about Plurk recently. They always knew about Plurk. How many of you guys know about Plurk or MySpace or anything? Maybe we should just bring back like all these old social medias. Vine. Let's bring back... What happened to Vine too? What happened to Vine too? PictoChat. Why don't we bring back PictoChat as a social media network? Maybe it's not even Miiverse. Maybe it's a brand new service. But I do like the theming of Miis. I do miss Miis. And I think Miiverse would be a really good service of that. And you know what? Even with Nintendo's like sort of pseudo poorly done social network app with the Switch, which they had for like, you know, talking to your friends, or just the weird funky voice chat through your phone, which you had to do for the Switch, was very strangely used. Even like the news section of the Switch is very strangely used. I don't know, there's a lot of like weird little funky things which they did with the Switch to keep it as far away as possible from previous hardware and previous consoles, even if something on previous consoles worked quite well, such as Miiverse. And yeah, you know, maybe we're being nostalgic for it. Maybe I'm being crazy by thinking that Miiverse was a good idea and that it worked back then. Maybe no one used it, but you know what? I met some like amazing people through me, right? Like I met like some of my like really good friends like one summer were people I met online on Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. It was Bean and there was someone else with a different name, but I met both of those people playing Monster Hunter, and then we stayed in contact via Miiverse and we used to text and stuff, like, you know, like a little bit every couple months, and it was really sweet and really nice. And then they shut it down and I don't have their like, you know, social network stuff or whatever, and that was like a really cool friend who I met over like a summer, and it was really, really fun. And so, you know what? If they brought back Miiverse and I was able to like reconnect with these old friends, which I used to speak to when I was like 14, 15, that would be so cool. That'd be so cool. If you're listening to this, if you know who I am, I hope you're doing well. And yeah, isn't that cool though, right? You're able to make little fun connections like that through games and celebrate that sort of stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Keep all the scary stuff to these other social networks. Let's have a social network just for games, right? That would be fun. But what do you guys think? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe we should just all use one app and just have one app everywhere, and that's how it should be. But personally, I kind of like having a little bit of, you know, different things for, you know, different friends, different things for different discussions and stuff like that. But what do you think? Let me know what you think. Are you going to sign up for Plurk? Plurk's logo is so cool, guys. I don't even know what Plurk's logo is. I think it's a pig. Plurk is pretty cool, guys, I'm just going to say, because it shows everything in chronological order, and there should be a social media that does that, where it just shows everything in chronological order. Yo, comment Plurk if you knew what Plurk was before I plurked. Anyways, guys, that's me, that's Mood News. Maybe Mood News should become a social network. No, it shouldn't. Okay, goodbye.